We went in last time.
I hope this is recording, who knows. Anyway, let's hope so. Oh, finger over the lens and all that, switch hands. So, good morning everybody there, Suzanne. Say good morning.
Good morning.
She's only pretending. She's not a morning person. We've just been discussing how she wakes up in the morning and goes, hello. And I wake up and go, hello! We're very different creatures. It is Saturday.
It is Saturday.
It's Saturday. I got a day. Hey, I got a day. Yay, good beginning. Don't know what the date is. It's August, I know that much. 3rd, 4th?
It's the 4th.
4th. Oh. We're a bit late this morning. It's
We're not late. It's 6:15.
it's 6:15. We're not late.
How can we be late?
How can we be late? Because we're later than we thought we would leave. Because someone turned the alarm off. Anyway,
I'm just making sure we get lost.
we're walking out of Legrono, and the reason why we're leaving so early is because people may have noticed on the news there's a heat wave, and it is actually really bad. And you don't want to get caught out in the heat wave post about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, because it just gets really, really, really just, it melts your soul through your feet. So anyway, yeah, so that's it. So I'm going to leave you now. So good morrow, everybody. One important aspect of walking the Camino is your luggage, the thing on your back. Okay, get a decent rucksack. Don't get a cheap one. I actually recommend getting a bigger one. One is this, Buen Camino. I recommend getting a bigger one. The reason lots of people get small ones because they're not going to carry a lot, and the bigger ones are heavier by £1 or £2, and this is very, very true. But the bigger ones have better waist straps, and what you want is something that will, carry the weight on your waist, not on your shoulders. He points at his shoulders like you don't know what shoulders are. So you don't want this thing pulling down on you. Now I just showed you also, well, you would have seen a couple of women walking with rucksacks. And what they've done is they've loosened off this strap here, yeah, which means the rucksack drops down, which places all the weight on their shoulders. You have to set up your rucksack properly. Yeah, you have to set up the rucksack so the weight isn't on your shoulders. It's not supposed to be on your shoulders. The shoulder straps stop the rucksack from tipping off your back. The weight should be on your hip. Yeah, the weight should be low down. It should be low. It basically, you're on a low centre of gravity so you can walk well. You also don't want it leaning off to one side. It needs to be straight. It needs to be vertical with your spine. Yeah, and all the weight sitting on the hip belt, well, at least as best you can. Okay, and set it up properly. But it's got they all have tons and tons of strapping, yeah, and it needs to be set up so it's vertically straight and not on your shoulders. These two women you just saw are carrying everything on their shoulders, and they're all already pulling at it and messing about with it because they've not set the rucksack properly. And the funny thing about that is Suzanne said, I know what you're thinking, I know what you're thinking. Suzanne's back there. I know what you're thinking, just want to dash over there and tell them. And I do, because I know that's going to be uncomfortable. They're doing a long journey and that's not good. A friend of mine doing this journey, lovely man, hi lovely man, he did it not last year, the year before, I think. I can never keep track of time. Anyway, yes. And he was, praying to some sort of saint to alleviate the weight of his rucksack. And someone just went up to him and said, tighten up those straps. And he tightened up the straps, and the rucksack was lighter because it was set up properly. His one, he didn't tighten up enough around his waist. So, because he didn't have the waist strap on tight enough, then it sits on your shoulders again. You don't want it sitting on your shoulders. Your shoulders are not designed to carry a huge amount of weight. Your hips are, you know. Your shoulders, you know, you've got this collarbone here. You don't want to be crushing that. You don't want to be pulling down. Your shoulders are floating joint. You don't want to be, you know, putting a huge amount of weight on that. It's not healthy. It's not comfortable. So yeah, sorry to go on about it, but really, really important aspect. Yeah, you want the weight on your hips. Yeah, so if you're going to do a rucksack, I would suggest a slightly bigger one with a better belt. Just look at the belts. Lots of these little square ones have this tiny little pad, and this and basically a strap around the front. You want, if you I'll show you mine, yeah, you can see, yeah, it's got a huge. It's on my hip, yeah. Loads of them sort of stop back there. But you want it to come around to the front-ish. So when it's pulled tight, it sits on your hip. You're going to do a long journey. It's not day packing. Yeah, you're going to do a long journey, and you want the weight on your hip, not on your shoulders. Okay, so there you go. On I go. Interview. How would you describe the moment we just had?
That was a very special moment, Carlos.
What happened?
A red squirrel came up to us. And Carlos fed a red squirrel from his fingertips.
How precious is that?
Very sweet.
Didn't film it because I was feeding it, but there's a park on the outskirts, as in a park for running and walking, you know, that type of park, as opposed to an industrial park. A country park, that's the word I was looking for. There's a country park outside Logrono, and you walk through it, and we were just walking along, and this squirrel comes bounding across the park and just runs up to us. And then we didn't have anything, and it ran away, and it came back, and an old man came along and called it over, and it came over to him. And Suzanne has sort of this snack food she's got for emergencies, so we thought to give it some of that, and we did. It's got fruits and nuts and all sort of together, mashed into a ball, and yeah, took a piece, ran off with little handies. It was really quite sweet, really lovely moment. So there you go, a Kodak moment without the Kodak. This is the park with the red squirrel. It's just one of the lakes. You don't get to see many lakes, actually, Suzanne said. I kind of agree with that. And I would walk down there. Well, I might actually walk down there. Bonk, bonk. Someone's forgotten their water. I'll bring it back up. Litter down here. It's a very, very pretty park. I've just come down. There's a cafe in the park. Nice tortilla. So it's 6k from Logrono, and picking up the water. And you get to walk through this lovely park with red squirrels in it. So there you go. As you can see from my feet, I have two different laces. The original brown lace, which is a cord, and the purpley elasticated one that I bought and replaced the broken cord with. The broken cord only lasted 7 days. Not really impressed with that. So now it's elastic lace versus cord lace. And I must say I like the elastic because it kind of just has a certain springiness to it. So it just doesn't loosen off. It stretches and then tightens, it stretches and tightens, which is much better than a cord that just keeps pulling loose. So we shall see.
Delightful. Delightful.
Hello.
This is 40 calories.
interview.
Here we are, still in the park at the Grono. I'm just coming through the other side, and we had a second miracle. Another squirrel appeared. So this time I fed it, and this time we managed to get it on film as well. So it was lovely. We had about 15 calories of peanut protein food. So hopefully that'll keep him climbing trees all day.
Is that it then?
That's it, yeah.
You're not going to say it was a wonderful experience?
It was a wonderful experience.
Say hi to the people at home.
No, I don't need to do that.
See, what can I do? No humour. You've got crosses. Oh, you see them. They're basically crucifixes and fences. It just goes on and on and on. Yep. Hopefully this is recording. Hello. Suzanne and I have been having a discussion, and you can think about this too. The meaning of life. I know, big question, poser and all that. But think about it. Does life actually have meaning? Okay. Now, for me, yes, I'm going to say yes. And there's quite a few people that posit that the idea that purpose is meaning. So they talk about purpose and meaning in the same sentence. So they talk about, that human beings are driven to move, and we do stuff, and we're, purposeful. And then they talk about that, and then they kind of just quickly switch the word into meaning. The purpose gives you meaning. Now I think, yes, purpose can lend an amount of meaning to life, but I don't think your purpose necessarily is your meaning, because it isn't for me. There are things that I do and I have purpose in doing, and they then lend a little bit of meaning, but they're not the meaning of my life. I love my work. I love working with people, and I am purposeful in that, and I do my best. But as far as giving me the whole of my meaning to my life, I don't think so. And I often come across people, clients, who have, for example, had children. Now, children lend purpose, and they can lend purpose for a while. But once your children are no longer children, you're bereft of meaning. Yeah, so if your children lend purpose and that purpose is your meaning, then once your children are not children and you're not caring for them, no purpose. Sorry, no meaning. And no purpose, no meaning. And the same applies when people retire. They have work, and that work is purpose. They attain what it is they're trying to attain, and that purpose can have meaning to them. But I think that the purpose has meaning, as opposed to their life has meaning. And the question really is, what is the meaning of your life, rather than what is the meaning of your purpose? So it's worth thinking about. Buenos dias. It's worth thinking about what is the meaning of your life, rather than what is the meaning of your purpose. I think they're two different things. They're complex questions, but think about it, okay? If you have an answer, post it. Tell everybody. Enlighten the world. Well, being on this channel, you won't enlighten the world, maybe one or two people. But anyway, have a go.